Parents in Shawano still expressing concerns about issues with bullying.
First alerted you to a video that surfaced online last May of a student assaulting another student at Shawano Middle School. In the First Alert update, Emily Riley joins us now in studio after asking the district administrator to respond to the parents' concerns.
Bill and Cami, Shawano parents and community members I spoke with today say bullying has been an ongoing problem and has continued into this school year. Kylie Jones is a parent to a 7th grader at Shawano Middle School. She says this year he's come home with bruises on his face. She says her older son experienced the same issue at Shawano Middle and High School some 10 years ago.
And I still have an 8-year-old that has to go up through this, and I'm struggling. I'm struggling with it. I've now become a grandma, and I'm like, do I quit my job to start homeschooling?
Shawano Superintendent Kurt Krizant says the board spent time over the summer to create more resources for students who are victims of bullying. One example includes the Hawk Way, which is a feature on the district's website outlining bullying policies, information for students, staff, parents, and how response to bullying is specifically handled.
We know that a lot of times the communication that we have is vague just because there is due process and some of those pieces involved, but we're communicating as often as we can with information that we have.
Shawano community members like Craig Collins says despite the additional web page, he's very worried about physical violence at Shawano schools.
The school board has worked all summer to update their safety and their policy on violence and bullying. I don't know that they have done a good job of communicating that to the community, and I know they have, public meetings, but many people can't get to those.
Maybe offer them counseling from whatever they've been going through.
I feel concerned for every kid, and every teacher is just trying to make her community or his community better as well.
More details about the updated Shawano bullying policies is on the district website. We also have a link for you at WBAY.com. Shawano administrators also say they encourage any input from parents and community members. Bill and Cami.